Happy Monday. I'm Lashana Guy, and this is Good News Only, the show where we celebrate the stories that uplift and inspire us all. Every weekday morning at 10:30 a.m., we are recapping the good news only, the feel-good headlines, the community and the local wins that bring a little more light to your day. And I want to hear from you too. So if something good is happening in your world, a community success, a personal victory, a birthday, or just something that made you smile, send me an email. Send it to news25 at wek.com and be sure to put Hey Shauna, that's SHAUNA, in the subject line so I know it's for me. I would love to share your good news right here on the show. It's definitely Monday because I feel like so out of sorts. I'm trying to make sure I have all my little boxes ticked. And it just, you know how you feel like sometimes you're forgetting something, and I keep feeling like I'm forgetting something. And I feel like I'm not, like the microphone or something is not on. Anyway, I'm here. We're here. Happy Monday again. What'd you do this weekend? Let's see. I traveled this weekend. I picked up my daughter. I told you about Taylin. If you're not new here, you know about her. She's home from college for the holidays, so that is fun. The drive was not that fun, but it's fun to have her back. It's good. Did you go to the Northwoods play this past weekend that took place? I went. It was my first time ever going. Of course, after just moving here. And it was really nice. After that long 12-hour turnaround drive to pick Taylor up, it was definitely a stimulating experience. It took me a minute to adjust my nervous system to the sights and the sounds, but it was gorgeous. It was absolutely beautiful. I love the message. It was very timely, and the kids had a good time. So my daughter and my niece and my cousin and her baby and a couple of my friend Kim. Remember my friend Kim I was telling you about that stood me up for the Christmas tree lighting? She came this time. She showed up, her and her daughter, and we had a really good time. So it was a nice family event. Did you go? Let me know if you went. Send me an email to news25 at wek.com and let me know what was your favorite part of the service or the play. I think they're calling it a play. I loved, my personal favorite was seeing all of the characters, the dancers, suspended from the air. I guess my favorite part was that finale portion where they had the little angels come down from the ceiling with little baby Jesus in the manger. It was really sweet. And they had live animals there. So like camels and they had a donkey. My daughter said she saw a cow. I didn't notice a cow and sheep. I didn't notice the sheep either. But there were a lot. I think there was like 4 camels. So I think I was distracted by those. But it reminded me, if anybody out there, let me know if anybody out there has ever been to the Sight and Sound theaters. They have them around the country. I know for sure, though, that they have one in Branson. That's the one that I took my daughter to years ago, several spring breaks ago. And those are stage plays that have all live animals, and it's really immersive. That it was very similar to this, in that they had live animals and it was immersive. Now, Sight and Sound, I mean, you're sitting in the theater and even the walls, they have projections on the walls, like everything's around you. This was similar in that the dancers were in the aisles with the people, just like Sight and Sound Theater. So there was a lot that reminded me of Sight and Sound Theater, and those are really good places, really good events to take your kids to as well. I think, what did we go see? We wanted to go see Samson that following year, but we didn't make it. We went to see, I want to say we went to see Noah's Ark. Yes, and they had, was it Noah's Ark? I believe it was Noah's Ark, and they had a bunch. I mean, it was just a ton of animals everywhere, and this definitely reminded me of that. Have you been? Again, I don't know if I already asked that, but if you've been, let me know. Send me the email, news25wek.com, and be sure to put Hey Shauna in the subject line so I know it's for me. And that is how we know it's time for a break. We will have more local news coming up after the break. And welcome back. We're back with your local news for starters. Christmas break came early, a little early at least, as thousands of students traded classrooms for the rink. The Peoria Rivermen hosted their annual education game at the Carver Arena last Thursday. Nearly 9,000 students from more than 90 schools packed the stands, and some students traveled up to 2 hours to attend the special daytime matchup. The record setting crowd watched the Rivermen take on Evansville Thunderbolts. So the voice of the Rivermen, Jason Ruff, says the students bring unmatched energy and excitement. I bet they do, especially to be able to be out of class. My goodness, they're all excited for Christmas. You see all those babies, and it was always a really fun, special thing for us when we were anxious and restless and ready to be out of school. I remember, especially for the holiday season, and then we got to go on a field trip too. And this one, for some of them, was a long one, so that was all day, and I bet they loved it. It's always good to see the kids out and about enjoying the community and just learning outside of the classroom. Such a sweet thing. And in more news and other news today, look at that. He's cute. So Santa is getting a little help. He's getting a helping hand from a remarkable 100-year-old toy maker in California. He is a centurion. He's he crafts wooden toys completely by hand. And he does this all year long. His creations include cars, ducks, dinosaurs, classic noisemakers, and more. Each holiday season, he opens his garage workshop to the public, and this is what he does. Like, he sells all of the toys that he has made all year, and he says this year is his busiest yet, and he's just proving that tradition never goes out of style. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I really love handmade items. Like, I love it. I don't know. Well, I think kids like little handmade. Kids will play with anything. Okay, kids will play with spoons, and boxes. Not that this is comparable to that. I'm just saying that I think the way that I appreciate handmade things is very similar to the way, but different, the way that kids would appreciate handmade toys, just because they typically, if it's a toy, they are grateful and happy to have it and will play with it. I find sentimental value and just gratitude in appreciation for somebody taking their time. Look at that fine brush he's got. I mean, he really is taking his time to make that with children in mind. And I just love stuff like that. I love it. I love thoughtful gifts. I love things that really took some individual thought in their unique gifts. So that's really nice of Santa's helper. And I believe we are going on another break. This break thing, I'm telling you, so we got time before the break. Look at this. So they are tracking Santa. If anybody was wondering, there's more than just one set of eyes keeping tabs on him this Christmas Eve, though. So the Missile Defense Agency at Redstone Arsenal will track Santa's sleigh. The time technology used for missile detection will follow Rudolph's glowing red nose. The effort mirrors NORAD's iconic Santa tracking tradition. Officials say it's a fun way to connect the families during the holidays. We didn't do we didn't went well, I grew up in a different time. And I don't remember us having this, and I did grow up in the country, so our television resources were limited. But I don't remember us having this. I just remember the adults would, hopefully no kids are watching this, but the adults would be Santa for us. We had such a hard time falling asleep that they would pretend to be him and say that they were going to come back because we weren't asleep yet. And I'm telling you, it worked every time. It was like NyQuil or something. We went right to sleep waiting for Santa Claus to get here or to get there. But this is going to be great. I think kids will have a really nice time watching and looking. I don't know if it'll help them sleep anymore, but right after the break, because this is our cue, we're going to talk about a group of seniors who are crocheting scarves for babies and children in need. We'll be right back. And welcome back. For one group of seniors, creativity is the way they are staying connected. Look at this. So, a group of senior women crochet scarves for kindergartners with special needs. The students attend Bob Mathis Elementary School, and many of the women have crocheted since they were children themselves. One volunteer made 26 scarves in less than a month. This project is deeply personal for the group's instructor, and this isn't their first time or their first act of service. They've helped thousands of unhoused and military members. The group's instructor, this woman here, all three of her grandchildren are autistic. So, because they're autistic, that she was inspired to create this organization that would keep them and other kids in the community like them in mind, and give them, the warmth and the loving, tender care that they need. So this is really sweet. They're all happy to do it. All the women seem very happy to be doing it. Now, I have tried to crochet, and I have tried to learn to knit. I don't have the patience, and I don't understand why I don't, but I don't. And I've also tried sewing. I can sew just a smidge bit because my mom can sew, and she can crochet and knit as well. But primarily growing up, she sewed a lot. So she would have us sit down on the floor. She would put the patterns, attach the patterns to the fabric. She would show us how to do that kind of stuff, and then she would show us how to size it, and so we could cut it to the correct size, and pin things to, like, pin the patterns to the fabric, or pin the fabric together. So I know how to do some stuff. I know how to do a good hem, not gonna hem a good pair of pants. And sew buttons on and that kind of thing. I could make a pillow. I know how to work a sewing machine for the most part. But crocheting and knitting, she tried to teach me. I can't even. I don't even have the patience for it to go into my brain, right, at all. I hope one day I will, because I like crocheted and knitted pieces. Like, I really do. And again, it falls into like the one of a kind, items that I really like, handmade things. But I guess I would have to find the time to even sit down and do all that. But before I could do that, I've got to find the capacity. I don't know why I don't have it, but I don't. And so, from a few seniors that are helping kids, now we're going to move on to kids helping kids. Look at this. I thought this was sweet too. So these are students, and they go to Copper Canyon High School, and they've created a peer-run pantry. The donations poured in after student-led call to action went out over the entire school and the town. The pantry provides food, clothing, and pre-made supply boxes for students in need, and it was inspired by hardships during the government shutdown. Students wanted to support other students without having them worry about judgment or stigma, and so school leaders have provided an approved space for the pantry on campus, and families say that the pantry brings relief and a sense of belonging. And so you really don't know, because of the way that they've set it up, you really don't know if the students that are going in to get supplies and things from the pantry are students who are lacking something or in need or something, or students who just want a snack. So there's no, and then, like I said, all students participate in donating. So you constantly have students in and out of there for various reasons, and it just kind of protects their privacy and allows them to not have to feel judged or embarrassed about going to the pantry. But the students said they saw the need rise in their school, and they did not want that to happen. They didn't. There was no reason in their minds why any of them should go without. So they all pitched in, and this was all the students' idea. I love to see stuff like this, where students, young people, are being proactive and caring for each other, because I think that's how you know that they are on the right track for, caring for their communities as a whole, the older they get. And so we will talk more about community after the break. And now, while streaming is dominating recently, one historic theater is proving that the magic of movies is living on here and today, even with streaming. So the theater opened in 1928, and it was the county's first talkie theater. Remember those? I don't think most of us do. I don't know if most of us were around then. But that was one. When talkies refers to the movies that make the transition from silent film into us having sound and lines, actually spoken word. So those early films were called talkies. And so this was a theater, the first theater in that county in 1928 that was a talkie theater that had talkie movies. So the owner moved the house specifically to preserve it. He was moved to preserve it because they were about to close it down, and he has worked very, very hard. This theater is 97 years old this year, and so this owner, who is right there, who you just saw across the screen, has worked very hard to preserve the theater. The venue blends nostalgia with modern movie going, and it hosts films and concerts, improv shows, which I bet are fun, weddings, and even birthdays. And the owner keeps prices affordable, he says, to welcome the community, to encourage them to come and to experience movies at a theater. And he says the theater will remain a downtown staple for years to come. So from movie memory to movie magic brought to life. I think this is a fun one. So, a Utah home builder created the iconic Home Alone house. He recreated it. It was $7 million. Or I'm sorry, the $7 million home will debut in the parade of homes in that town. The exterior is close. It closely matches the famous movie home. The interior details were created using real estate listings and film references. So I think that's cool. Some features are uniquely Utah, though, including a pickleball court. The community events will allow visitors to tour the home, so that's great. And the builder says that it's all about imagination and nostalgia. That is very timely. I'm sure lots of people, I wonder how long they're going to leave it. If they're going to leave that all year round, or if it's, I mean it's a house, so I can't imagine they're going to tear it down. But in terms of allowing people in to visit it, or will they just sell it and someone will move into it and live in it? It's very interesting. But I love when people see stuff like, from childhood, and especially in movies, because that's an art form close to my heart. And you just make it come to life. It feels like you're living in it, right? It's so cool. So I love it. And next, we are moving on to a rhyming train conductor. This is proof that even the morning commute can come with a smile. A Metro North conductor entertains riders with rhyming announcements. His name is Paul Pasante. He works the New Haven line into New York. He blends his love of trains and poetry, and passengers say that his rhymes brighten their mornings. Pasante has been delighting commuters for more than 20 years, and he says happy passengers make for a happy crew. And he plans to write a book of all of the rhymes that he's done when he retires. And next up, after the break, we're going to be talking about a group of children who are learning financial literacy. We'll be right back. And finally, M&T Bank teamed up with the Baltimore Ravens to teach kids financial literacy. More than 70 fourth graders learned budgeting through hands on games and activities. The Ravens mascot Poe, cheerleaders, and wide receiver Zay Flowers joined the fun. Students practice real world skills like savings, spending, and planning a game day budget. The program aims to build lifelong financial confidence starting in elementary school. Isn't that sweet and also very necessary? Well, that's a wrap from me today. Now I want to hear from you. Please go to news25 at WEK.com and let me know what you thought about today's show. Remember to put Hey Shauna in the subject line. That's SHAUNA, so I know it's for me. In the meantime, be sure to check out the Midday Newscast and meet me back here tomorrow morning at 10:30 a.m. I'm Lashana Guy for 25 News. Have a wonderful morning.